Hello all my makeup freaks and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Stephanie. So today is Tuesday and I'm going to be bringing back, not every week, but I have several that I'm going to do, Tag Tuesday. I used to do a tag every single Tuesday. I'm not really doing a video every single day anymore. Although this week I may have a video every single day. But anyway, so Tuesday, Tag Tuesday, woo! Jazz hands. Alright, so today's video is a little bit different and I'm sure you can see by the title of this video. And I would just first like to say that nothing that I say in this video like changes who I am as a person, who I've been as a person, what I was yesterday or what I'll be tomorrow. Me like as a person hasn't changed, so I just want everyone to know that, I guess. This is not something that just magically has been in my head. This has been something that I've kind of like thought about and dealt with and felt like my whole life, and I'm actually going to have a video that kind of explains more what I'm talking about on Thursday, which is actually Trans Visibility Day. So I'll have a video on Thursday talking about this topic, and if you have any questions for me, please leave them down below. I'm not going to film, today is actually Monday, so I will film that video for Thursday on Wednesday. So if you have any questions that you want specifically answered in that video, let me know. So this is the gender tag, and this tag was made up by Ashley Wylde. I'll put links to her video doing the tag and her video kind of explaining why she created this tag, which is really interesting. So let's get into it. It has 10 questions. The first question is, how do you self-identify your gender and what does that definition mean to you? So I actually identify my gender as gender fluid, and what that definition means to me is that I don't necessarily like feel the same gender all the time. My gender is very like fluid and it changes. I will say that at times I feel female, at times I feel male, at times I feel like a mix between male and female. I would say that one is probably the most prevalent. Sometimes I feel like I'm not either male or female, that I'm like something other or almost like genderless, and that one I would say is probably third. I actually feel less female most of the time, and I know that's like really strange and we'll talk about that. Probably the most prevalent one I feel is male, and then the next one I would feel would be kind of a mix between male and female, and then kind of like the other. And as far as my gender changing, it can change from day to day. It can change from like minute to minute. It can go for months being the same. It really depends. Number 2, what pronouns honor you? Technically, I'm okay with any pronouns. I feel very comfortable with she, her pronouns. The biggest reason for that is that's what kind of has always been assigned to me from birth. I live in the South, so ma'am is kind of a big thing for us in the South. Like, we're always yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir. And it's not necessarily that someone would say that trying to like misgender me. It's just that I do kind of look female, so they say that. I also have been called dude before, which like makes me like feel happy when someone calls me dude. Personally, I actually prefer to be called my name or be called Steph. I like Steph a lot, but she, her, him, like whatever you want to call me. You can call me they, them. The only problem I have with they, them is that I think it is hard, not necessarily, like people that want to be called they, them, I'm not saying anything against them. I just think it's hard for people that don't understand gender to use that. And especially like on a day-to-day basis, just for me personally, it doesn't work. And I should say, like right now, I'm just going to kind of like say it, that this is my thoughts and feelings on gender, so it definitely should not be taken for like everyone, because some people definitely like you need to use their pronouns, and it's, you know, ask people what their pronouns are. that's definitely a thing that you should do, because some people definitely feel offended if you don't use the right pronouns. I'm just not one of those people that feel offended if you don't use whatever pronouns I may be feeling at that time. Number 3, describe the style of clothing that you most often wear. It's kind of hard. I normally wear kind of what you see, like t-shirts. I have blue jeans on, which you can't see. I kind of like kind of gothic kind of style clothes, or I'll show you my shirt. Like, it has skulls on it. I love anything with skulls. I tend to like black or purple or green as far as colors go. And sometimes I wear like feminine tops. I'm sure like if you're not new to my YouTube channel, you've seen that. And sometimes that is because I feel comfortable in those shirts, and sometimes I've felt that I had to look a certain way to do YouTube, and that's not necessarily true. And you will kind of see a change in, just because I've like bought some new clothes, so that's why you'll see a change. But here's my thing is, I have not worn a dress in probably almost 20 years. And before the 20 years, which I will say that dress was a wedding dress, because I got married at like 22. It hasn't been quite 20 years. I'm not 42 yet. So yeah, I'm like 40, guys. Come on. Don't age me yet, okay? But before the wedding dress, I probably had not worn a dress since I was maybe 15-ish. And then before that, around the age of 4 and 5, I pretty much told my mom, like, I don't want to wear dresses. So although I don't feel that I don't feel like clothes should say like what gender you are, I just don't feel comfortable in a dress. To me, like, when I'm wearing a dress, I feel like a man in a dress, if that makes any sense. Like, I feel how I would imagine like a straight, like, cis guy, if they had to wear a dress. That is the way I feel in a dress, and it just feels very, very uncomfortable. Number one, I don't sit like a girl, and yeah, so I always wear jeans. I have not wore girl shoes since I was probably 12. I wear guys' shoes. That's kind of a little known fact. So yeah, I kind of, as far as like gender presentation, I kind of would like to appear more androgynous than like whether I was a guy or a girl. It doesn't always work for me, because like, hey, I got boobs. Yeah, but I would kind of like to appear more androgynous kind of thing. Number 4, talk about your choices with body hair. How do you style your hair? Do you have facial hair? What do you choose to shave or choose not to shave? So as far as my hair, you can tell by this channel, if you go to like some of my first videos to now, I changed my hair a lot, and that's kind of something that I've done like my whole life. My mom was a beautician, so she always was kind of like, hey, do you want a haircut? Let's do this style, blah, blah, blah. And it's kind of something that has kind of carried on my whole life. Now, around 12 or 13, I actually went to my mom and was like, Mom, cut my hair like a boy. And I had really, really short hair for a few years, and then I grew it out. I've had it long, I've had it short. Usually it's kind of like a rotating thing. I usually have short hair for a little while, grow my hair out for maybe 4 or 5 years, and then decide like, hey, let's chop it off. I will say, like, this haircut that I have, which is, like an undercut, it is shaved completely all the way around, and then this is the only long part. This feels so good to me. Like, when I did this, it was so freeing, and I don't know like how long I will want this haircut, but I absolutely just feel so connected to myself with this haircut. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it does to me. And I think because like you see guys wearing this haircut, and you see girls wearing this haircut, and you see non-binary people with this haircut, hey, I'm non-binary. So yeah, I think that's one thing. As far as, do I have facial hair? I do not have facial hair, and I don't really want facial hair, which is why I kind of think I will never try to go on T or anything. I don't necessarily want body hair. It's not something that I like. It's not something that I particularly find attractive either. Like in other people, I don't necessarily find that like attractive. I don't want it. As far as what I shave or I don't shave, I'm honestly kind of lazy about shaving. I shaved my armpits today, and I will usually do that, you know, whenever it needs it, kind of. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just let it grow out, and I don't particularly like find that's kind of like gross, but whatever. I'm lazy about shaving, and my leg hair. Number one, I'm kind of lucky. I don't have a lot of body hair. Just like I have no hair on my arms, and I don't shave my arms at all. So my legs don't grow a lot of hair, but I don't know the last time I've shaved my legs, honestly. And yeah, so it's probably been a year. It could have been two. I don't know. So I don't really shave my leg hair. I can't believe I'm saying this on YouTube. I don't shave my leg hair. Okay, bye. Talk about cosmetics. Do you choose to wear makeup? Do you paint your nails? What type of soap and perfumes do you use, if any? Okay, so first thing I would like to say about cosmetics is I also, since I don't feel like clothes are male or female, I don't feel like makeup is a male or female thing. I think if guys want to wear makeup, they should wear makeup. I think if girls want to wear makeup, they should wear makeup. I think if someone doesn't want to wear makeup, then don't wear makeup. That's just how I feel. I choose to wear makeup. Usually I wear makeup every day. There are days that I'm just lazy and I don't, but for the majority I do. Makeup for me is really about expressing myself, and it's an art form. I also think I look better with makeup, but sometimes I feel that the way I do makeup kind of makes me look more androgynous in a way, because I kind of have like this gender, like, are you a guy that's wearing makeup or are you a girl? And I mean, I actually have gotten these comments on YouTube, so for whatever reason, that kind of makes me feel good. I don't know. Do I paint my nails? Sometimes, like right now, I have false nails on. Sometimes that is a bit much and I don't have them, and sometimes I go for long periods of time without my nails being painted. It just really, you know, depends on how I'm feeling. Once again, I don't necessarily think like painting your nails matters what gender you are, but yeah. What types of soaps and perfumes do you use, if any? I tend to just use whatever soap is bought for the house, which is usually Irish Spring, although I don't particularly like Irish Spring. And I will say, like, as far as deodorant, I only wear God's deodorant, which is usually this one. I am kind of addicted to Wolfthorn because it smells like candy to me. Like, it really does. Like, I will put this on and I'll kind of smell my pits. Not like on purpose, but I'll just get like, wow, like I have candy pits or something. But as far as perfumes, I don't buy a perfume if it's male or female. I buy like how it smells. I would say I do kind of like sweet kind of fragrances, which usually would be what would be geared for women, but then I like kind of strong, what you would consider manly scents too. So it's not something that I would say I only buy this or only buy that. It's just whatever smells good to me. Number 6, have you ever experienced being misgendered? If so, how often? And since I am gender fluid, I get misgendered all the time because I'm not cisgendered woman. I am gender fluid, so technically I'm always misgendered. But funny enough, I have sometimes been called sir and I've been called ma'am, and honestly, like when I get called sir, it kind of tickles me a little bit. Like it makes me happy. But yeah, so like every day, honestly, that doesn't bother me, especially since I know that we live in a very binary world right now. I'm thinking that hopefully at some point that will kind of change. But yeah, like I get misgendered all the time, but it doesn't necessarily bother me. Number 7, do you experience dysphoria, and how does it affect you? So dysphoria, if you don't know, is when you feel dissatisfied or sad or depressed that your body doesn't match what gender you feel on the inside. And I would say that there are times that I do experience gender dysphoria. It's not all the time, luckily, but when I have went for a long time feeling like a guy, I experience gender dysphoria. And there's been times that I've thought, well, do I need to transition? Am I actually a guy? And then usually, you know, it'll flip at some point and I'm like, no, I'm actually gender fluid, which I'll talk more about in the video Thursday. Generally, my dysphoria is not like in my upstairs region, like boobs, they're fine. It's more like downstairs issue thing that I don't feel like I wish that I had other parts than I have. I guess that's really personal, but that's kind of the way I feel. Also, if I was ever made to wear a dress, I would be very dysphoric. And sometimes like the thought of someone trying to make me wear a dress makes me just feel like, ooh, just bad, just really, really bad. And sometimes like looking at dresses, honestly, will just kind of be triggering, I guess is the right word. Also, girl shoes like heels can kind of be triggering. Like, that is just not what I'm supposed to be wearing. I understand this is a lot to take in, and you'll probably, after the Thursday video, you'll understand a lot more. But so I do experience dysphoria. 8. Talk about children. Are you interested in having children? Would you want to carry a child? If that was an option for you, do you want to be the primary caregiver for any children you may have? So I actually have 4 kids and I did give birth to them. Best thing I ever did. Like, I love my kids, and I think, especially when I was younger, why I never kind of wanted to transition or think about transitioning or even really put a label on the thoughts that I was having was because I knew I wanted kids and I knew I wanted biological kids. There are plenty of ways that, you know, it could have happened anyway. I could have adopted, whatever, but that was just a big thing for me. If I was capable of having biological kids, I wanted biological kids. And I feel, as far as primary caregiver, I am the primary caretaker, but it kind of really should be 50-50. I mean, it's kind of 50-50, but I'm, you know, at home more, especially when I'm not working. I was like a stay-at-home mom for a long time, so I would say I was probably the primary caregiver for many years. Next question, number 9, talk about money. Is it important to you to provide for a family financially if you choose to have one? Is it important to you that you earn more than any other partner you may have? Do you prefer to pay for things like dates? Are you uncomfortable when others pay for you or offer to pay for you? This, to me, I don't understand, like, really what this question has to do with anything. The only thing I can think of is that maybe there's some really masculine people that kind of feel like that they have to be the sole breadwinner or the major provider. And number one, like, I don't feel that anyone should have to feel that way. I, of course, want my family to be taken care of, and I feel like me earning money is a part of that, but I don't feel like that I would have to be the sole breadwinner or the only breadwinner, or that I would have to make more than any partner that I would have, or that my partner would have to make more than me. Like, I don't feel that. And as far as dates, I have this thing, so if a guy takes me out, I think it's generally kind of acknowledged a little bit that the guy is going to pay, and I feel that since I am pansexual and I talk to women too, that it gets kind of like in the gray area. Like, I almost feel like I have to say, well, you know, are we going to, like, me pay for mine, me pay for yours, you know, how's that going to work? I will say that generally when I'm in relationships with people, it becomes much more like a 50-50 thing. So I'll say, like, hey, let's go get pizza. And they're like, oh, I don't have money. And I'm like, that's not what I said. I said, you know, come on, let's go get pizza. I'll treat you. And that kind of becomes like a give and take 50-50 thing. And I much prefer, like, I'm more comfortable with that than, like, at the start of a relationship. So I always kind of make sure that if I am going out, which, like, I haven't went out forever, but I'm just saying that if if I ever go out again, oh my gosh, I'm so single. But anyway, if I ever go out, like, I would make sure, like, I had enough money to cover, like, mine or theirs and whatever, just for it to come up. But I would prefer to, like, talk about that, like, before the date, just because, like, that's a nice, like, awkward moment that you don't have to have. And I'm socially awkward anyway. So yeah. Do I feel uncomfortable when others pay for you or offer to pay for you. Not necessarily. The only thing like I'm uncomfortable with is in that, like I said, that awkward moment where you don't know what's going on, and so then you have to have a conversation. I hate that moment, but if someone offers to pay, I don't get uncomfortable about it. Number 10, anything else you want to share about your experience with gender? To reiterate that I'm still the same person that I was, you know, before, that I am now, and that this is something that has always kind of been a thing. I just haven't felt as comfortable sharing it on YouTube. I did kind of mention it in at least 2 other videos. One just kind of like off kind of chancy talking about non-binary, and then at one point I did say in the video that I came out as pansexual, but I also had gender identity issues, and I don't really want to say that it's issues like it's a problem, because it's not a problem. I'm very happy being who I am and how I am, and I just think, you know, it's not a big deal, but I just kind of used the word issues. So I hope that you learned a few things from this video, and watch Thursday for my video that I will talk more about like being gender fluid and how I realized that I was gender fluid, and kind of my thought process and things that I did to kind of get to that place that I felt comfortable, I guess, sharing it on YouTube. And I appreciate like any comments or questions that you have. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you guys later. Love you. Bye.